Yo, what's up everybody, it's Rigo, and let me tell you something. I just got back from the most insane trip, and I'm so stoked to share it with you guys. We're talking about Mongolia, people. This isn't your average vacation spot. We're talking vast deserts, towering mountains, crystal clear lakes, and a history so rich it'll blow your mind. Over the next few minutes, get ready to dive deep into the heart of Mongolia. I'm talking 10 must-visit spots that'll have you booking a flight faster than you can say Genghis Khan. I'm not holding back. You're getting all the raw, uncut beauty, the crazy adventures, and the moments that'll stay with you long after you watch this video. So buckle up, smash that like button, and let's jump right into the adventure. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, first up, we're hitting the ground running in Ulaanbaatar, the capital city. Now I know what you're thinking. Capital city, probably just a concrete jungle, right? Wrong. Ulaanbaatar is this crazy blend of old and new where skyscrapers rise up next to ancient Buddhist monasteries. You can be walking down a bustling street, checking out street vendors selling traditional crafts, and bam, you turn a corner, and there's a giant statue of Genghis Khan staring you down. Talk about a culture shock in the best way possible. One morning I found myself wandering through the Gandanteginlan Monastery, this massive complex with ornate temples and monks chanting, talk about peaceful. But then, I hopped on a trolley bus, which is like a relic from the Soviet era, and ended up at this super modern art gallery showcasing Mongolian contemporary artists. The contrast is wild, but it just works, you know? Oh, and speaking of contrasts, the food scene here is off the hook. You've got your traditional Mongolian barbecue, which is a whole experience in itself, piles of meat and veggies cooked on these massive grills. But then, you can also find incredible Korean, Russian, and even Italian restaurants popping up all over the city. Ulaanbaatar is a melting pot of cultures and experiences, and it's impossible not to get swept up in its energy. Don't forget to check out Sukhbatar Square, the heart of the city. It's surrounded by government buildings and museums, and it's a great place to people watch and soak up the atmosphere. And if you're into history, you can't miss the National Museum of Mongolia. It's packed with artifacts and exhibits that tell the story of Mongolia from ancient times to the present day. Honestly, Ulaanbaatar is a city that surprised me at every turn. It's a place where you can experience the traditions of the past and the energy of the future all in one place. If you're looking for a unique and unforgettable travel experience, Ulaanbaatar is it. Trust me guys, Ulaanbaatar is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Mongolia. This country is full of surprises and we're just getting started. So, stick around because up next we're heading into the wild. The Gobi Desert, baby. Guys, imagine this. Endless sand dunes stretching as far as the eye can see, the sun beating down on your skin, and a silence so profound it's almost deafening. That's the Gobi Desert, one of the most surreal and awe-inspiring places on Earth. This place is massive, like seriously massive. It stretches across southern Mongolia and even spills over into China. We're talking camels, nomadic herders living in gurs, those are traditional Mongolian tents, and a sense of isolation that's both terrifying and exhilarating. You're completely exposed to the elements here, at the mercy of the wind and the sun. It's humbling, you know? It makes you realize how small you are in the grand scheme of things. One of the coolest things about the Gobi is that it's not just a giant sandbox. You've got towering sand dunes, sure, but you've also got rugged mountains, canyons, and even oases where you can find hidden waterfalls and lush vegetation. It's like a scene straight out of Lawrence of Arabia, and trust me, it's just as epic as it sounds. And then there's the wildlife. The Gobi is home to some of the coolest creatures on the planet: Bactrian camels, Gobi brown bears, wild asses, and even the elusive snow leopard. Spotting these animals in the wild is like winning the lottery. But even if you don't, just knowing they're out there roaming this vast wilderness is pretty incredible. I spent my days hiking through canyons, riding camels across the dunes, and camping out under the stars. Let me tell you, there's nothing quite like sleeping under a sky that's absolutely blanketed in stars, with no light pollution to dim their brilliance. It's magical. The Gobi Desert is a place that gets under your skin, that stays with you long after you leave. It's a place of extremes, of stark beauty and unforgiving conditions, but it's also a place of incredible peace and solitude. If you're looking for an adventure that will challenge you and change you, the Gobi Desert is calling. Alright guys, after all that desert heat, it's time to cool off at Kul Lake, also known as the Blue Pearl of Mongolia. And let me tell you, this place is the definition of serene. Imagine crystal clear water reflecting the sky so perfectly it's like you're looking into a mirror, surrounded by rolling green hills and snow-capped mountains in the distance. This lake is huge, guys, like the largest freshwater lake in Mongolia by volume. It stretches for over 80 miles and is surrounded by forests, making it a haven for all kinds of wildlife. We're talking reindeer, yaks, musk deer, brown bears, and over 200 species of birds. If you're lucky, you might even spot the rare Siberian musk deer or the majestic golden eagle soaring above the lake. Now, I'm all about pushing my limits, but even I had to take a minute to just breathe in the fresh air and soak up the tranquility of this place. It's the kind of place where you can just feel your stress melting away. You can hike through the forests, kayak across the lake, or just chill on the shore and listen to the gentle lapping of the water. I spent my days here hiking through the surrounding taiga forests, paddling across the lake in a traditional dugout canoe, and even trying my hand at fishing with some local nomads. These guys are the real deal. They live in harmony with nature, moving their herds of yaks and horses to different pastures throughout the year. Talking to them, hearing their stories about life on the lake, it gave me a whole new appreciation for the Mongolian way of life. And the sunsets over Kul Lake, don't even get me started. Picture this, the sky explodes in a riot of orange, pink, and purple hues, reflecting off the glassy surface of the water, while the mountains in the distance are bathed in this golden glow. It's the kind of sunset that makes you want to pinch yourself to make sure you're not dreaming. Kul Lake is a place of incredible beauty and peace. It's a place to reconnect with nature, to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and to experience the true meaning of tranquility. If you're looking for a place to recharge your batteries and find your inner zen, this is it. Okay guys, get ready for some serious jaw-dropping scenery because we're heading to Terrell National Park, just a short drive from Ulaanbaatar. This place is like a playground for adventure junkies and nature lovers alike. We're talking towering granite rock formations, lush forests, winding rivers, and hiking trails that will take your breath away. Now, Terrell is famous for its unique rock formations, and for good reason. These things are massive, sculpted by centuries of wind and erosion into these crazy shapes that look like animals, monsters, you name it. There's one that looks exactly like a giant turtle, hence the name Turtle Rock. But Terrell isn't just about the views. It's also a great place to get your adrenaline pumping. You can go rock climbing on those epic rock formations, horseback riding through the valleys, or even whitewater rafting on the Tool River. I decided to challenge myself and go rock climbing with some local guides. Let me tell you, scaling those sheer rock faces, feeling the wind in my hair, and looking out over the park from the top was exhilarating. It was a total adrenaline rush, and the view from the top was worth every drop of sweat. And then there's the history. Nestled in a valley within the park is the Aryabal Meditation Center, a Buddhist temple built into the side of a cliff. The climb up to the temple is a bit of a workout, but the views from the top, overlooking the entire park, are breathtaking. Plus, the sense of peace and serenity up there is palpable. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie or a nature lover, Terrell National Park has something for everyone. It's a place where you can challenge yourself physically, connect with nature, and experience the raw beauty of Mongolia's landscapes. Guys, get ready to step back in time because we're about to explore the Orkhon Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of the most historically significant places in all of Mongolia. This valley is like an open-air museum, home to ancient ruins, burial mounds, and remnants of the Mongol Empire that will transport you back centuries. We're talking about the remains of Karakorum, the ancient capital of Genghis Khan's empire. You can still see the outlines of the city walls, imagine the bustling marketplace, and almost hear the echoes of the Mongol warriors who once roamed these lands. It's like stepping onto the set of a historical epic, except it's real. And it's not just about the ruins. The Orkhon Valley itself is stunning, with rolling hills, the winding Orkhon River, and a sense of history that permeates the very air. You can imagine Genghis Khan and his warriors riding across these very plains, their horses kicking up dust as they go. One of the coolest things about the Orkhon Valley is that you can really immerse yourself in the nomadic way of life. I stayed with a nomadic family in their gyr, learned how to milk a yak, it's harder than it looks, and even helped herd their sheep. At night, sitting around the fire in the Jur, drinking salty milk tea and listening to stories of Mongolian history and folklore, I felt like I had traveled back in time. The stars blazed above us, the wind howled outside, and for a few precious hours, the modern world faded away. The Orkhon Valley is a place where history comes alive, where you can feel the weight of the past and the spirit of the Mongol Empire. It's a place of incredible natural beauty, rich culture, and unforgettable experiences. Alright guys, we're continuing our journey through time in Korin, the ancient capital of the Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan. Now, Korin was once the center of the world, a bustling metropolis where traders from all corners of the empire came to exchange goods and ideas. Today it's a small town, but the echoes of its glorious past are still palpable. The main attraction here is the Erdene Zu Monastery, one of the oldest and most important monasteries in Mongolia. This place is massive, surrounded by these iconic white walls with 108 stupas, and inside, you'll find intricate Buddhist artwork, statues, and scriptures. Walking through the courtyards of Erdene Zu, listening to the monks chanting, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and reverence. This place has been a center of spirituality for centuries, and it's easy to see why. But Korin isn't just about the monastery. There's also a museum where you can delve deeper into the history of the Mongol Empire and learn about the life and times of Genghis Khan. Seeing the artifacts, the weapons, the maps, it really brings history alive. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even try your hand at archery, a skill that was essential for the Mongol warriors. I gave it a shot, and let's just say I need a bit more practice before I can join the ranks of Genghis Khan's army. Korin is a place where you can walk in the footsteps of emperors, explore ancient ruins, and immerse yourself in the rich history and culture of the Mongol Empire. It's a must-visit for anyone interested in history, culture, or just experiencing a place that's truly unique. Chapter 7. Alai Tavan Bog, National Park, where mountains kiss the sky. Get ready for some serious mountain vibes, guys, because we're heading deep into the Altai Mountains to explore Alai Tavan Bog National Park, home to the highest peaks in Mongolia. We're talking jagged peaks piercing the clouds, glaciers glinting in the sun, and valleys so vast they'll make you feel like you're on another planet. This place is a hiker's paradise, with trails winding through alpine meadows, past glacial lakes, and up to breathtaking viewpoints. I'm talking about views that will make you question if you're still on Earth, with snow-capped peaks stretching as far as the eye can see. One of the coolest things about Alai Tavan Bog is the wildlife. This park is home to all sorts of rare and endangered animals like snow leopards, argali sheep, ibex, and even the elusive Siberian musk deer. I didn't spot a snow leopard, but I did see a herd of ibex scaling a near-vertical cliff face with ease. These animals are incredible climbers, but Alai Tavan Bog isn't just about the mountains, it's also home to the Kazakh eagle hunters, nomadic people who have been hunting with golden eagles for centuries. These guys are the real deal, training their eagles to hunt foxes, marmots, and even wolves. Seeing an eagle swoop down from the sky and snatch its prey in its talons is an unforgettable experience. I spent my days here hiking through valleys carpeted in wildflowers, camping beside glacial lakes, and just soaking up the silence of this remote and pristine wilderness. Alai Tavan Bog National Park is a place of raw, untamed beauty, a place where you can challenge yourself physically, connect with nature on a deeper level, and experience the true meaning of adventure. Alright guys, get ready for a heartwarming story because we're heading to Hustai National Park, a place where conservation efforts have brought back a species from the brink of extinction, the Przewalski's horse. These horses are the last truly wild horses on Earth, and seeing them roam free in Hustai is a testament to the power of conservation. Hustai National Park itself is beautiful, with rolling hills, forests, and steppes that stretch as far as the eye can see. It's the perfect habitat for the Przewalski's horses, and they've thrived here since their reintroduction in the 1990s. I spent a day with some local guides tracking the horses through the park. We saw herds grazing on the grasslands, foals playing with each other, and stallions rearing up and challenging each other for dominance. It was incredible to see these animals in their natural environment, wild and free. But Hustai isn't just about the horses. The park is also home to a variety of other wildlife, including red deer, gazelles, wolves, and over 200 species of birds. It's a birdwatcher's paradise, and I spent hours just observing the different species flitting through the trees and soaring overhead. One of the coolest things about Hustai is that it's a relatively easy park to get to and explore. It's located just a couple of hours from Ulaanbaatar, making it the perfect day trip or overnight adventure. There are hiking trails, horseback riding opportunities, and even traditional jurs where you can stay overnight and experience the nomadic way of life. Hustai National Park is a place of hope, a place where you can witness the success of conservation efforts and experience the beauty of Mongolia's wildlife up close. It's a reminder that we can make a difference in protecting our planet and preserving its biodiversity for future generations. Guys, get ready for some serious visual overload because we're about to witness the incredible Sagansuara, also known as the White Stupa Cliffs. Imagine this, towering cliffs that look like giant white stupas rising up from the desert floor, their layers of white, orange, and red rock glowing in the sunlight. It's like something out of a Salvador Dali painting, and it's just as surreal as it sounds. These cliffs are the result of millions of years of erosion, and they stretch for miles along the edge of the desert. The way the light hits them at different times of day is incredible, creating these constantly shifting patterns of light and shadow. It's like the cliffs are alive, changing colors and shapes before your very eyes. I spent hours just wandering along the base of the cliffs, marveling at their size and beauty. You can climb up to the top for panoramic views of the surrounding desert, and the sunsets from up there are supposed to be epic. But Sagansuara isn't just about the cliffs. The surrounding desert is also home to nomadic herders, and you can see their gurs dotting the landscape. I had the opportunity to visit a family in their jur, and they welcomed me with open arms, offering me salty milk tea and dried yogurt. It's amazing how hospitable the Mongolian people are, even in the most remote and desolate parts of the country. They have a deep respect for nature and a strong sense of community that is truly inspiring. Sagansuara is a place of otherworldly beauty, a place where you can witness the power of nature's artistry and experience the warmth of Mongolian hospitality. It's a hidden gem that should be on every traveler's bucket list. Guys, for our final stop, we're heading to a place of tranquility and spiritual significance, the Amarbayasgalant Monastery. This monastery is nestled in a secluded valley in northern Mongolia, surrounded by rolling hills and forests. It's a place of peace and serenity, a world away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Amarbayasgalant is one of the most important monasteries in Mongolia, and it's easy to see why. The architecture is incredible, with intricate details and colorful decorations. The monastery was built in the 18th century, and it's a beautiful example of traditional Mongolian Buddhist architecture. I spent hours just wandering through the courtyards, admiring the temples and listening to the monks chanting. There's a palpable sense of peace here, and I couldn't help but feel my stress melting away. But Amarbayasgalant isn't just a beautiful place to visit. It's also a working monastery, home to dozens of monks who dedicate their lives to study and meditation. I had the opportunity to talk to one of the monks, and he told me about the importance of compassion, mindfulness, and living in the present moment. His words really resonated with me, and I left Amarbayasgalant feeling inspired and refreshed. It's amazing how a place can have such a profound impact on you, even if you only spend a short time there. Amarbayasgalant Monastery is a place where you can escape the noise of the world, connect with your spiritual side, and experience the true meaning of peace. It's a fitting end to our journey through Mongolia, a country of incredible beauty, rich culture, and unforgettable experiences. So there you have it, guys, my top 10 must-visit places in Mongolia. From the bustling streets of Ulaanbaatar to the serene shores of Kul Lake and the ancient ruins of the Orkhon Valley, Mongolia has something to offer every traveler. This country stole my heart with its raw beauty, its rich history, and the warmth of its people. It's a place that will challenge you, inspire you, and stay with you long after you've left. If you're looking for an adventure off the beaten path, a journey that will take you out of your comfort zone and into a world of wonder, Mongolia is calling. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel inspiration.